Welcome back to the Mike Will experiment, everybody. Video number 2 for today. So, Mr. J Coffee had mentioned to me a little while back that there were some exclusive Japanese pins that were available. And I was doing the research. I couldn't figure out which pins that he was referring to. So I wanted to double check with him and just kind of do some research before I made this video. So those of you looking to get a North American complete set of 35th anniversary Mario goodies will understand that there is some importance to knowing about when these Japanese products drop. Now, again, much like the last video where I went over some Japanese My Nintendo rewards, you cannot get these as a U.S. citizen, with a U.S. account. Even if you had a Japanese account, you can't ship it to a U.S. address. So, you just simply can't actually obtain them that way. Now, you can obtain them secondhand from eBay, which is essentially how you would have to obtain these. As I mentioned in that previous video, though, generally the price is not as bad. Then, of course, it'll depend. They do what's called lottery for a lot of the My Nintendo stuff. So instead of this thing they do in the U.S. is they throw them up and whoever gets them gets them. They give out the code and then they make you go through a bunch of steps and then whoever's fastest and on it gets them. In Japan, I don't know if they do it that way at all, but I do know because I was looking through their website, they do a lottery system. And I'll post screenshots here of what that looks like. So they pick 750 people and just send them out. Well, that kind of tells you how many rewards there probably typically are. If they're only sending 750, that means that there's probably only 750 pin sets. So that kind of gives you an inclination. If they're only giving out 750 in the lottery and maybe 750, maybe there's only a couple thousand of these things out there at any one given time, and that's going to make them significantly harder to obtain. But the meat and potatoes of this video is in regards to the actual pins. What's different? Well, there are 2 pins, according to Mr. J Coffee. I looked at it and couldn't tell, but Mr. J Coffee, he's the man. I trust him on this one. He says the one with the Mario showing the peace symbol is not on the U.S. radar as far as to be a U.S. set. There's also, it is said that the big pin in the middle here is an actual pin, like a huge pin, which, wow, really cool. Again, this is just off the Japanese site. We don't know if, it still could, the big pins could still come to America as like a tier 3 reward. It may not be Japanese exclusive forever, but as of right now, from what we know and what our sources know, that those pins will be exclusive to Japan. Of course, that could change. But I wanted to let you know if you're going for a complete set, so you want the US pin set 1, you want US pin set number 2, you're going to also want to look and you want every single thing Mario pins for the 35th anniversary, you're going to need to complete your sets out there, these 2 pins from the Japanese set. So I did want to make you guys aware of these. Thanks again to Mr. J Coffee for the tip. And I did want to get this out there. I was going to include this in the last video, but I need to do more research. So I hope you guys have a great